Hey everybody, welcome to Hootie Films Entertainment. My name is Rick Hootie. I'm the host of this YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be giving you my spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie or you don't want to be spoiled, I'm warning you right now to leave the video and come back once you've seen it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, I want to say overall I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was pretty good. I definitely will be buying it when it comes out. Was it perfect? Of course not. You know, it has its flaws like pretty much any other movie. But as far as the opening goes, I did like the opening. My least favorite opening would probably have to be Scream 4. I did not like the opening to Scream 4. Some of you might disagree. However, I didn't like it. I liked Scream 5's opening. That was a good one. And I also liked this Scream 6 opening. So it opens up with Samara Weaving. Her character is Laura. And basically she's waiting on her a date. And the date calls her, ends up luring her into a dark alley. And the voice on the phone switches to Ghostface. And eventually he comes out and kills her right in the alley. Which I predicted the opening kill was going to be Samara Weaving. And so that happened to come true. So that was one of my predictions. Now, what I didn't predict was the killer revealing himself, because right after he kills her, he takes off his mask, which we've never seen a killer reveal himself in the beginning. So that was pretty shocking. Now, when he takes the mask off, it happens to be Tony Revolori. His character is Jason. And he ends up going home and getting a call from Ghostface himself, which he thinks is his friend, because him and his friend have plans on continuing the Stab franchise and continuing that by basically continuing Richie's plan to continue the Stab franchise by killing the Carpenter sisters, so killing Tara and Sam. So that was Tony and his buddy's plan, was to continue Richie's plan to continue the Stab franchise and take out the Carpenter sisters. So anyways, he thinks his friend is the one who's on the phone, and so when he's on the phone with Ghostface, Ghostface ends up playing a game with him, and the game is hot or cold, which he ends up by the fridge and opens the fridge, and his buddy is actually in the fridge, chopped up. And that's when Ghostface appears. And so it wasn't his friend on the phone. And Ghostface kills Jason. So double kill in the opening, which was pretty interesting. So yeah, I liked the opening. Thought it was pretty cool. And after Ghostface kills this first killer, he basically says, before Jason dies, he says, what about finishing the movie? And Ghostface says, who gives a fuck about movies? So, and then kills him. So, yeah, that was pretty cool, pretty interesting. I liked the opening, like I said, overall. And the whole plot of the story wasn't bad. Was anything perfect? Of course not. I do like how they played out the Carpenter sisters, Sam and Tara, and how they're both dealing with their past trauma with Ghostface, and how Sam is getting accused by people of framing Richie and her actually being the killer. So I like their take on that. I thought it was pretty interesting. Now, as far as anything else I liked the fact that Ghostface was more aggressive. They did pretty much live up to Ghostface being more aggressive and more violent, and so the kills, yeah, they were just more aggressive and more violent and more stabby. And I thought it was pretty intense. More chase scenes than what we get in Scream 5. There was several scenes that were intense. The train scene was pretty intense. We got to see Mindy um, in the train with several ghost faces, and one of them slowly getting closer as the train um, passes through tunnels and gets dark. And she ends up getting attacked and survives. And then I also think the ladder scene was pretty intense. That was pretty awesome. They did trick us in the trailer. Of course, that Ghostface part where he shows up behind Mindy never happened, just like we kind of thought was a trick. And it was actually Anika who he shows up behind, and Anika ends up getting thrown off the ladder to her death. So, yeah, that was pretty cool overall. Now, some of the things I didn't like the killer reveal. It's not like I didn't care for who the killers were. I just didn't care for the way they executed it. The whole reason I didn't like, I guess, the motive. I didn't really care for the fact that it was another revenge thing, because the three killers, there was three of them, and one of them was Detective Bailey, and then there was Quinn Bailey, and then there was Ethan Bailey, which they were all family, and they were basically in it for the revenge for killing Richie. So Richie was son of Detective Bailey. So he had three kids. The two that were helping him with these Ghostface attacks, and Richie, who was killed in Scream 5. So yeah, again, it's already been done. Scream 2 was a revenge thing, and I just didn't really agree with them doing it again. So I expected something different. So I wasn't too satisfied with that. And plus the way they executed it, it wasn't fantastic to me. So now, another thing I didn't really like was too many characters surviving. That just, I mean, I love all the characters that survive. Don't get me wrong. I love, Chad's character. I love Gail. I like all those characters. But one thing I just didn't agree with were all these people surviving, and they were pretty. They're beat up pretty bad. Now I liked the chase scene with Gail. That was pretty epic. I did enjoy that. And I gotta say, the whole time I was pretty intense, just rooting and hoping Gail was gonna make it through. And when she got beat up pretty bad and it looked like she died, I was like, no way. They killed Dewey in Scream 5 and now Gail in Scream 6. Now, of course, to my surprise, they found a weak pulse, so she did survive, which was cool. I was fine with it. I was like, okay. That it happens. Lucky she survived. But then, at the end, Richie gets stabbed quite a bit, and we think he gets stabbed to his death, and then at the end, they pull him out in a stretcher, and he's alive. So I don't know. It's just too much for me. I think there's too many surviving, and we also have Kirby, who survives, and she even got beat up pretty bad. So it's like, come on here, come on. It's overdone. it just kind of, it doesn't really give it as much meaning when you just have too many characters surviving after getting, brutally stabbed and stuff. So that's one thing I didn't like about Star Wars. They keep bringing characters back, so now really death doesn't have much meaning anymore. It's like, Darth Maul survived, and then we got what's that character's name? I forget the character's name, but we get quite a few characters survive. We get Boba Fett survived the pit, and it just goes too far. It's like, do we really need to bring these characters back just because people like them? I mean, yeah, they're probably playing it safe, and they don't want people to get mad, because people get mad nowadays for their favorite characters dying. But yeah, in my opinion, it's just too much. I think some of those characters should have died that survived, because otherwise now death is like nothing. It's like, now next time if it happens, it's like, okay, that character's probably gonna be alive still. So that's one thing I did not like. But other than that, there's not really much else I didn't like. I thought it was overall a good movie, and I definitely want to see it again, and I might go see it in theaters again. But yeah, you guys go ahead and you give me your take on it. Give me what you thought about it, and I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are. But anyways, that's pretty much all I have. If you would like to subscribe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Have a great night.